Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tristan, I'm the dronographer, and I'm going to be teaching you my secret tips on how to take your drone footage and make it instantly better. Stick around, I promise you don't want to miss this. Okay guys, so for the first tip, we're going to be talking about how to make the most use of your drone. Drones are unique to their perspective and what they can offer. Unlike other cameras, they can go up in the air, left or right, and when you can't go somewhere 1 feet, the drone can probably go there. Well, because it can do all of this, it allows to get these unique perspectives that you can't get on the ground with a normal camera. So you need to be focusing on taking that and using that to your advantage. You need to go up high, you need to go somewhere where no one else has gone before, and you'll get this unique perspective that no one else has. That's why you get a drone, right? That's what I thought. Okay guys, so now that you know that the most important thing with the drone is that it captures this unique perspective, use that. Don't forget that you have a camera that can fly in the air. That is something so useful. Use it. That means go up high, go somewhere where no one else has ever gone before, and just take your drone and push it to its limits. Okay guys, so for the next tip, we're going to be talking about something a lot of people don't even think about, and that's planning ahead for your flights. Before you get to your shoot, before you do anything, think ahead. What are you going to need? What are you going to do? And what images are you going to be capturing? Because if you get there, you forget a battery, your controller, anything like that, what are you going to do? You can't take any pictures. Next, you got to figure out what you're actually going to be taking a picture of. I'd like to use a handy feature that people might not even think of, and that's just going on somewhere like Google Maps and using their 3D feature, and you're going to see a new perspective that this drone, like I said before, has. So you're going to have a more realistic visual representation of what the drone's going to be seeing. If you're using something like Apple Maps or Google Maps, you can use this to your advantage, because before you even get to the place where you're going to be shooting, you already know where you're going to go, you know where to look, and you know what to do. Then you gotta think about the logistical parts of it. When you get there, is there any laws with the FAA you have to worry about, weather, lighting, anything like that? Are you gonna be on someone's property or getting in someone's way? Is there something that's getting in the drone's way? All these things are important to think about, and the reason why I say plan ahead is because you don't have unlimited battery, you don't have unlimited daylight, or unlimited time. So if you can plan ahead and save those few extra minutes to hours, however long you can save, it's going to make your photography look better, and while you're taking those pictures, you're not going to feel as stressed or on such a time crunch. So guys, this kind of leads into our next tip. We're going to be talking about lighting. This is one thing that a lot of photographers, even with drones or any type of photographer really, they don't think about lighting, the time of day, the weather, how much clouds are in the sky. This all impacts what the image is going to look like in the end. And in reality, lighting can make or break an image. You can get a unique style with lighting, you can get a terrible style with lighting. You can get blown out skies, a terrible sunset, everything can just be off, or it can be perfect. So when it comes to lighting, generally the best times are going to be half an hour before and after sunrise, and a half an hour before and after sunset. These times are generally considered the best because you get the most balanced lighting, the most natural looking lighting, and it gets this really nice golden look that we call the golden hour. Sometimes it's called the magic hour. It's the same thing. It just creates this magical look that you don't get at any other time of the day. Now, but you also have to think, maybe you don't want a golden look to your image. Maybe you want more of a white or bluish look, then maybe go for an overcast day midday, because you're going to have a more even natural lighting across the whole image, and it's going to be more white and not so orange. One thing a lot of people do is they try to take pictures during sunrises and sunsets, because yes, they are a naturally beautiful phenomenon. No camera out there is going to be really able to capture the full details from the sun and the ground, because just think about it, the sun is really the most bright thing you're ever going to take a picture of, and because of that, it's always overblown, never enough information there. So you have to take this into consideration when you're taking your pictures. I'm not saying don't take pictures of the sun, but you just have to be mindful of that. Okay guys, so for the next thing, we're going to be talking about composition. Because a lot of people get their drones, they take them up in the air, and then they're like, well now what? What do I take a picture of? And a lot of people just go straight to that 400-foot mark, and then they take a picture straight down, and they think, yes, this is going to look amazing, right? Not really. A lot of the rules that apply to normal photography also apply to aerial photography when it comes to composition. You generally want to look for things like straight lines, or contrast in texture or color, and this will just create a nice image. And another thing to keep in mind is when you're taking a picture of the sky and the ground, you want to have a nice ratio between the both of them. You don't want to have a little bit of the ground and then way too much sky, or vice versa, way too much ground and then a tiny bit of the sky. Something a lot of people do and consider an abstract form of art with drones is they'll take a top-down image. This can create a unique look, once again, a unique perspective with drones that you can't really get with something else. There's also just the 45-degree angle and then the straight-on angle. 45-degree angle is generally when you're looking slightly down, but not completely straight down. And then flat on is just when you're looking 90 degrees straight at it. These are generally the three perspectives that you're going to see with a drone. Of course, you can always go out there and get creative and find your own perspective, but this is just something to note. Okay guys, so for the next tip, we're going to be talking about shooting in RAW. This is something I talked about in a previous video, so if you want a whole lot more information on it, I'll link it up here. So that's going to be on my left, so it'll show up on my... But anyways, RAW is basically, in a short version, is taking in more information, but not making it look as good until you go into post-production. And because you have more information, you generally have more flexibility and control in Lightroom. This is something that so many people forget about and they don't even know is there. It's such a simple thing. I can't say it. Okay. It's such a simple thing. I don't even know what it's saying anymore. Anyways, it's something a lot of people forget about, but yet it helps you out so much. You have no idea. If you haven't been shooting in RAW, just try it and you'll probably just be blown away. You'll be thinking to yourself, why haven't I been doing this? And you know what? I don't know why you haven't been doing this. So do it. What are you waiting for? And for the next thing, we're going to be talking about bracketing your images. This might sound confusing to you, and it might be confusing, but once you get the idea, it's pretty simple. You're basically going to be taking multiple images and combining them into one. And you might be thinking, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that? The reason why is because you're going to be taking images at different exposures, so when you combine them into one, you get a better exposure overall. It's generally considered an HDR image, and especially with drones, it just looks so much better. I can't tell you how important this is. When taking aerial photography, you're generally taking a picture of a huge landscape with all these different exposures, contrasts, textures, colors. It's just all over the place. And if you can manage to get a bracketed image, you're going to be able to get so much more control, and I guarantee you, it's just going to look so much better. And now we've reached our last tip of the day. And this is something I talk about at the end of every one of my videos. I say go out there and get creative. What does this mean? It means get your own creative flow. It's so important that you do this because there's so many other people out there. Photography is such a saturated workspace. You want to set yourself apart. The way to do that is to be creative with your images. Make your work and content represent you. You want to go out there and find something that you like, a style that fits you. This is generally something with tones and colors. You want to get a mixture of all of these things. When you're doing this, you're going to start developing a trial and error system to see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. It eventually just becomes your own brand, it becomes you, and it sets your photography apart from the rest because you have something that they don't. Okay guys, so that's going to wrap it up today. Those are all my tips, and I promise you, if you implement all of these into your day-to-day workflows, you're going to be seeing massive improvements with your photography. But anyways guys, let me know which tips and tricks you like the most. Did you know any of them? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and it lets me know you like this type of content and I'll start producing it more often. And now guys, as always, go out there and get creative.